Thank you very much, Mr. Senate President, for this full compliment. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, I am Senator George Thompson Sekibo, Commander of the Order of the Niger. I represent the Rivers East Senatorial District. Mr. President, thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring this national issue before this chamber. Motion. Urgent need to resuscitate the Nigerian Navy Flagship, NNS ARADU. It is co-sponsored by 14 distinguished senators. Mr. President, the Senate is aware that the Nigerian Navy Flagship, NNS ARADU, is one of the first of the MECO 360 general purpose frigates built by one of the biggest shipbuilders in Germany and commissioned on 22nd February 1982. Aware that NNS ARADU is the largest ship in the Nigerian Navy fleet with a length of 125.6 meters. And as a general purpose frigate, she is an all-purpose fighting ship capable of undertaking the following missions alone or in concert with other units. 1. Sustain an independent blue water patrol over a range of 6,500 miles, which is an equivalent of 10,500 kilometers. Gunfire support to friendly forces operating up to 16 kilometers from the coast, air defense of self, and cooperating forces up to a range of 13 kilometers, anti-submarine warfare, short range or extended range using helicopter-borne torpedoes, electronic warfare, intercepting and jamming, anti-ship warfare missile attacks against surface units up to a range of 120 kilometers. Mine laying, airborne or surface search and rescue. The Senate knows that the capabilities of the frigate ensured the Nigerian Navy continue to reach out to blue waters with the appropriate ships in terms of firepower, extended operational range, and enhanced surveillance capabilities. Understand that since NNS ARADU entered Nigerian Navy service, she has undertaken part in major naval exercises, fleet reviews, and diplomatic cruises. She played a prominent role in Operation Sea Dog in 1985 and Operation Odeon in 1987. She has also undertaken extensive diplomatic visits to countries like Gabon, Congo, Zaire, Equatorial Guinea, and many European countries. The Senate is aware that she participated in joint exercises with visiting ships of German, India, French, and the Brazilian navies. Regrets that in 1987, barely 5 years after her commissioning, NNS ARADU ran aground twice and was involved in a major collision and underwent a significant local refit in 1991 at the Nigerian Navy Dockyard, Wilmot Pond, Lagos. The Senate is also aware that in 1997, she sailed to Monrovia, Liberia, where she participated in locomotive operation for over 6 months and steamed back to Lagos with her engines despite losing one generator. Because NNS ARADU participated in 200th anniversary celebration of the Battle of Trafalgar in the UK in 2005 and embarked on the hazardous transatlantic voyage in 2007 to participate in the Brazilian Pacenary celebration. He regrets that in 1994, NNS ARADU experienced degradation of machinery and equipment post-refit trials and was assessed as beyond economic repair in 1995. In addition to report, while bedded in naval dockyard experienced raw weather and severe turbulences between 31st May to 2nd June 2014, which caused the already weakened ship serious damage that resulted in flooding and near sinking. Regret further that the once a pride of Nigerian Navy and the nation is not operational in deplorable condition and will require life extension refit. Notes that the other 7 ships of same category in the world, built about the same time, are still energetically seaworthy and in operation due to proper maintenance. The misfortune of Aradu was the transfer of the ship from the Presidency to the Nigerian Navy for maintenance, which will not afford to keep it afloat properly due to the envelope budget system. Note that NNS ARADU is the equivalent of Air Force One in the presidential air fleet, which has since been maintained and kept by the Presidency. When in its good shape, there was a presidential cabinet or cabin in it, and by convention cannot sail out without presidential approval. Notes that NNS ARADU is equivalent. Notes further that of a truth that Nigeria has no flagship on our seas today and has lost our pride of dreaded sea power among the African nations. Understand that NNS ARADU can be refitted either locally or internationally or both to give out 25 years extended lifespan or more. Understand further that refitting NNS ARADU may require $200 million, which is an equivalent of 82 billion naira at current exchange rate, while replacing same will require more than $700 million, which is an equivalent of 287 billion naira only. And the Senate believes that Nigeria can refit the ailing ship and take a place in the Committee of Naval Formations in Africa and the world. Accordingly, resolves to 1. Urge the Presidency to take over the NNS ARADU as a presidential asset and resuscitate it for our national security, safety, and pride. 2. Urge the Senate to convoke a roundtable of all stakeholders, such as the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Nigeria Customs and Customs Services, and Nigerian Immigration Services, with a view to fashioning out a funding regime to facilitate the refitting and refurbishing of NNS ARADU to carry out its onerous role in servicing Nigerian maritime domain. Mr. President, while inviting my colleagues and appealing to them to support this motion, I so move. Thank you very much.
Operational. Now, the reason being that the operational requirements of using other platforms to do half of what NNS ARADU is capable of doing will cost the country almost 3 times in terms of money, were it that NNS ARADU is to be operational, it will have been much less to operate. Now, if this is the situation and we already have a flagship with these capabilities, and we can use roughly about 200 million to reinstate it back in its proper position, it does not make sense at this our economic situation to begin to anticipate that $700 million can be used for the purpose of replacing same. So the fact that the work of the Parliament is to ensure prudent use of resources of the country, it therefore calls on the Senate to intervene in this kind of situation and to say that in view of the fact that it will cost the country $200 and the $200 million and about $500 million will have been saved by the country for other purposes, it will have meant that this Senate has acted in the right way. And that is the additional reason as to why this motion is apt and timely at this time of our situation. I'm therefore urging my colleagues to look at the cost-benefit analysis to the nation, and then the operational advantage that the flagship offers to Nigerian Navy and by extension to Nigerians in general, to approve that the Senate adopt the prayers in this motion and ensure that our Committee on Legislative Compliance takes this matter seriously so that the intended meeting of the stakeholders to chart a way for getting funds to be able to reinstate this flagship is done with minimum delay. Because the longer you stay without intervening, Mr. President, the less cost-effective it becomes to the country. And then we will not have succeeded in meeting the necessary intervention that we are doing in order to save this country about $500 million. I therefore urge my colleagues to support this motion as being moved by my brother and friend, distinguished Senator Sekibo.
Distinguished Senator Sam Egu, Ebonyi North.
In making my contribution to this very important motion, I wish to draw the attention of the Senate to the issues raised in this motion and would want to ask if it is necessary actually for us to resuscitate this flagship in the first place. Bearing in mind, Mr. President, that in 1987, barely 5 years after the commissioning of this ship, NNS ARADU, it ran aground twice. 5 years after commissioning, it ran aground twice. And then in 1994, 7 years after resuscitating it, it again suffered degradation of machinery and equipment. Mr. President, how was this ship bought? Was it bought as a second hand? Was it bought as a scrap? Because going down the same memo, we also learned that other ships of the same category and standard from other countries are still worthy, have not suffered what this particular flagship suffered. Ships of similar type, similar category, purchased by other countries in other countries, are still serving, are still working, still worthy, performing the duties they're supposed to perform. But this one, 2 times has suffered serious degradation. The Senate should be able to ask questions, Mr. President. Because spending money again to fit it, only for it to go down again, I think is a waste of money. We either use this money to buy a new one, a new ship that will serve us. And again, it brings into proper care. How are our ships purchased? Because we should be able to, because I find it difficult to believe that a ship that was purchased 5 years, it went aground twice. And again, money was put into it. After 7 years, it again went degradation. Mr. President, I want to say that we should ask questions before we act. Otherwise, we'll just be pushing money down the drain unnecessarily. And then this call to question about the machinery, the military machinery we are purchasing in this country. What state are they before we purchase them? Or are they using Nigeria as a dumping ground to push all manner of machinery that will also become unusable after some time? Mr. President, that's my position.
Is anybody against the motion? Otherwise, we'll go to the prayers. Prayer 1. Urge the Presidency to take over the NNS ARADU. Prayer 1. Urge the Presidency to take over the NNS ARADU as a presidential asset and resuscitate it for our national security, safety, and pride. Those in favor of prayer 1, say aye. Those against, say neither. Prayer 2, urge the Senate to convoke a roundtable of all stakeholders such as Nigeria Ports Authority, NPA, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Nigerian Customs and Service, and Nigerian Immigration Services with a view to fashioning out a funding regime to facilitate the refitting and refurbishing of NNS ARADU to carry out its onerous role in servicing Nigeria's maritime domain. Those in favor of Prayer 2, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Thompson Sekibo. Leader of the Senate, concurrence.